What's going on? Just got done with a workout, and I say what's going on every time. I wanted to talk about how to tell if you should work out, go over the reasons why you should work out, if you're contemplating about it, and maybe why you shouldn't work out. And just a lot of reasoning behind it, and a little bit of discussion. So we'll start off with that. People, I'm not going to say we have a lot of free time necessarily, because time is up to you, but the world we live in today, as I can't prove nothing in the past, but it didn't seem like they worked out. Maybe civilizations, but people that were nomadic people and traveled all the time, older people. Of course, armies worked out, but like I said, people who traveled and nomadic people, doesn't seem to be any records of them really working out. As these people did hunting and gathering and built shelters and just had basically, in walking and traveling, these were their workouts. And many other things that they did, their daily activities were basically their physical activity, which nowadays obviously it's different. I have no proof of that in the past, but it's more than likely. And people nowadays, for a lot of the time, they do a job where they stand in one place, sit in one place, or just not a lot of physical movement, or it's the same repetition. Though it's probably better to stand than to freaking sit all the time. Because I don't think sitting for long periods of time is good, but it all depends on how you're sitting. If you're sitting cross-legged, that's fine, but if you're sitting in a chair, to me it's just not good for long periods of time, and I don't like it. So nowadays we, like I said, assess that we have more free time, but more so we're not doing those physical activities as we once were doing, which is unfortunate, where we incorporated them in our daily lives, to compare it as we're not doing that now. And we wouldn't have to necessarily do workouts or purposely include movement, because basically that would be ritually in our day. Whereas to now, it's not really there, so we have to substitute it or change the lifestyle, and maybe the job we do to better fit that in. And that's why I wanted to start off with, and why some people may need to exercise or do some physical activity outside of that. Not saying you have to. So I'm gonna go, that was just discussion one, how to tell if you should work out. Well, I guess the best way to say this is, if you feel like you don't like your bodily experience or type, and you want to aim for something different, and outside of the bullying, and it really doesn't matter what you think of yourself. Even if you don't like how you look, you can maybe change your weight and muscle tone, and maybe some structure in a way, depending your age. But little bits, of course, you can change your hair, and you can even get plastic surgery and do a bunch of plastic things. But if you do care about your appearance, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you should care about it, and maybe listen to other people, what they say, depending on what, how much you want to believe them and what you think of them. I know there's different type of people out there. There's people who never worked out in their life, just never really done anything that are like super scrawny, not to be derogatory, and they're super tiny and don't really have any muscle mass, nor do they care to work out. And then there's obviously obese people, whether they're healthy in some sort or they just snack all the time and they don't really do too much workout, and if they do, it's like super low intensity, which it all depends on what you want at the end of the day. You know, there's some people who love being fat and there's nothing wrong with that, but of course there'll be peer pressure, maybe from some people saying something to you, or the media with their skinny models. Of course some things are changing around. Of course I have nothing against all people, whatever type. It's all about what you want to be, and you always have the opportunity to change that. No matter when, you just got to make the change. So that's one way to tell if you should work out, is how do you feel about your bodily experience. I don't know why I keep coming to that, but experience, I guess it sounds pretty cool. So that's one way to tell if you might need to work out or incorporate some physical activity. And I'll just leave on the note for people who want to know like terms or something like that. It's relatively easy to lose weight. I mean, it's different from everyone for sure, and it depends on what's going on in your life at the time, like how stressed are you, what's your diet looking like, and then again, how much are you even getting physical activity in your life. Because to me, I always found it harder to gain weight, and some people I know can't lose weight. And that maybe it's just my perspective. I think it's easier to lose weight than it is to gain weight, but I've read many stories. I know the whole opposite's there. So number one is just, how do you feel about your body? It all depends on how you feel. Of course, you can get feedback, and you can not even care about your physical appearance. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm open to both sides, whatever that you like. But if you do care, and if you want to change that, and if you want to be more physical active, like you could just have that personality, or you like to move your body, which is kind of like a natural instinct to me, and I think to every human being, it's just how it is to some extent. Like I said though, there is people who are fine with their body and don't like to move at all. So that's number one way to tell, as I said. Two would be, what do you actually want to do? Do you which again relates to one, of course, and the whole topic of the video, but do you actually want to move, or do you want to sit down? Do you want to be able to be physically active? Because some people actually don't want that. The first one is kind of how you feel about yourself, but the second one is, what do you want to do? Do you want to go hiking, canoeing? Do you want to include movement in there? Do you actually want to have that physical stress in your life? Which, it can be good and bad. Too much of a good thing, which that's debatable too. Because I'll just cut in there right here. The longest living people don't have super probably high intense workouts. They're more sedentary. They don't move a lot, and that's why they live longer. Because ultimately, when you work out, it is stress on the body, but there's good stress, and it depends on how much it accumulates and how hard you're going. Like walking's really nothing, but if you're doing a HIIT workout or lifting, if you're super big, and bodybuilder, you might be doing too much. But it's all about your limit and what you want. Of course, there's not a stigma to it, but bodybuilders, they may enjoy their whole life, and their goal might not be longevity. A lot of people don't have that goal, or don't even think about it. But bodybuilders don't tend to live long. Usually the people that live long are they're usually just they don't move around a lot, have a decent amount of fat on them, or they're super skinny and scrawny. And like I said, they don't do a lot of working out. They may have a lot of activity in their life, but it's low grade and low activity.